This module is going to be all about meal prepping. I know, it can be daunting, it can be overwhelming, but hopefully I'll be able to provide you with some tips and tricks and some additional resources that will show you that meal prepping does not have to be this daunting, overwhelming sort of task and feat that we have to accomplish every single week. Kind of the theme and the running motto of this specific training module is going to be KISS. Keep it super simple, K-I-S-S. And that's what I'm going to teach you today. Ways that you can sort of eliminate prep time, still stay on track, but not get overcomplicated with your recipes to where you're spending so much time trying to figure out what to eat that you just give up and kind of throw in the towel. So that's kind of the purpose of what I'm going to teach you today, is how to KISS. Keep it super simple. I'm going to go ahead and start with what I like to call my staples. Every single week on Sunday and Wednesday, I prep some staples. Now, when you prep your food and how often you prep your food is going to be determined by your lifestyle. If you have time to prep all of your food on a Sunday, go for it. If you don't, do a Sunday, Wednesday. Keep in mind, of course, like food safety, regulations and rules and things that you want to keep in mind as far as how long food is considered good in the fridge. You don't want to have, cooked chicken breast sitting in there for 14 days because you didn't have time to meal prep this week. If you do, that's all on you, but I wouldn't suggest it. So how often you prep your food every week is going to kind of be determined by your lifestyle. For me, every Sunday and Wednesday kind of works best. I set aside a couple hours on both of those days, and by a couple hours, I mean maybe like 2 hours on Sunday and just an hour in the evening on Wednesday. And what I'm going to show you is going to allow you to see why I'm able to kind of minimize my prep time, but still stay on track throughout the course of the week. So, starting with staples. Staples are what I consider my proteins, my carbs, and my veggies. I feel like, with our orange containers, blues containers, and teaspoons, I can kind of find things to throw on top to fulfill those specific portion control requirements. But these are sort of our main staples. So what I like to do is typically have 1 or 2, sometimes 3 of each one of those types of staples prepped and ready to go in my fridge. So for example, I kind of pulled a couple out of my fridge just to show you. For this week, I have just some air fried potatoes. I just cubed these up and threw them in my air fryer. 30 minutes, they're done, pop them in the fridge. This is just grilled chicken breast, so I just sliced up some chicken breast, seasoned it really good, grilled it on the grill, threw it in the Tupperware. And then for my veggie this week, I have roasted broccoli, which there's going to be training videos under the resource tab as to how I prep, my veggies and how I grill my chicken to kind of, give it more flavor and stuff like that. So be sure that you check all of those out. But just in the meantime, roasted broccoli, throw it in the fridge, you're good to go. At any point throughout the week, I have a vegetable, I have a protein, and I have a carbohydrate that I can just pull out of my fridge and I'm ready to go. For example, for any meal, if I wanted some scrambled eggs for breakfast, but I needed a carbohydrate or a yellow, I have some potatoes that I could consider breakfast potatoes. I could throw a blue container of cheese on top and I'm good to go. As far as that's concerned, I have a red, a yellow, and a green ready to go for lunch if I just want to pull them out and eat them that way. I could cut up this chicken and throw it on a corn tortilla for a yellow and make chicken tacos. Throw some lettuce or cilantro on top, and there's my green. So these staples are really versatile in terms of, being able to just eat them on their own or being able to incorporate them into other recipes. As long as you have staples prepared in your fridge, there is no reason why you should ever kind of go off track. Some other staples that you could prep in advance if you wanted to do like some roasted Brussels sprouts or some cauliflower or even just a veggie mix, you could do that. You could do ground turkey or even boiled eggs that you can just keep in the fridge. Those are a great source of protein, which hopefully you're starting to find out by looking at the nutrition guide. Some lean ground beef, whatever sort of protein suits your fancy for that week. And then of course like rice, sweet potatoes, things like that for your carbohydrates. So I encourage you every week on Sunday and Wednesday or whatever days work for you to just set aside a little bit of time to throw some chicken on the grill, throw some sweet potatoes and some veggies in the oven, and then boom, you're good to go. And that is as simple as that. Now, let's say that you work an 8 to 5 job and you don't really have time in the morning to kind of pull all those staples out and make your meal. That's where meal prep containers come in handy. And in the resource section, there will be linked where I get my meal prep containers, but any meal prep containers will work, you guys. This one has 3 compartments. This is a green container of broccoli, a yellow container of potatoes, and a red container of chicken. I just used my staples that were already prepped, popped them in a container. So in the morning on my way to work, all I have to do is pull it out and I'm good to go. That is a game changer, you guys. Don't overthink this portion control container thing. I know it can get overcomplicated when you try to incorporate, lots of fancy recipes and stuff, which I encourage you to do at some point. Once you get more comfortable and familiar with the containers, get creative with your recipes. There's nothing wrong with that. But in the beginning, I want to encourage you to just not overthink it and just stick to the basics and always make sure that you have something on hand, which is what meal prep is all about. Something else I want to encourage you to do is find recipes, if that's your jam. If this is a little too routine and mundane for you, I'm a total creature of habit, so this works for me. But if you want something a little spicier, if you will, find some recipes that allow you to prep in advance, but you can still just pop them out of the fridge, heat them up, and you're good to go. Vegetable egg cups for breakfast is a great option here. I prepped a dozen of these, usually at the beginning of the week, and they will last me, 2 of them as a serving, so that will get me through all week if I need it to. These are great for spouses and kids. My husband really likes meat with his breakfast, so I'll do a dozen my way and a dozen of his with some bacon and sausage and stuff like that in it. So super simple, super easy. I have a whole container of these in my fridge. I can just pull them out, heat them up, and I'm good to go. Something else I wanted to show you, kind of going along the lines of the egg cups. Now, I'm not saying that you have to eat egg cups or that you have to eat this. I'm just trying to get you to think in a way that is more simple in terms of how the nutrition plan and the portion fix containers work. This right here, all this is roasted vegetables, cauliflower and broccoli, and some chicken sausage that was pan-seared. You can throw all of these ingredients on a baking sheet and pop them in the oven, pull them out, and you're good to go. You have red and green right here, put some cheese on top, and there's a blue. This is a 1 baking sheet dish recipe that you can just throw in and pull out. This isn't a recipe that I found anywhere. I just made it up because I know that chicken sausage is a red and roasted Brussels and broccoli and cauliflower are greens. So if I throw them all together, bake them at one time, I have this whole dish, probably 2 to 3 meals worth of leftovers, essentially, that will count as a red and green container. So just dishes like this, staples like these that are really simple to just pop out of the fridge and go. Something else I wanted you to be aware of is the rotisserie chickens. Guys, these are great if you want to make a soup from Fixate, but you don't have time to cook chicken. Pick up a rotisserie chicken, shred it apart, put it in baggies, and put it in your fridge. I just haven't bagged this one up yet, but another really great way to kind of save you some time. Another way to save time with cooking staples like that is to throw some chicken breast in a crock pot and pour some salsa on top. Turn it on when you leave for work. When you come home, you have shredded chicken. You can make tacos, you can make enchiladas, you can make anything. You can make pulled chicken burgers. So many options. Just try to find as many versatile ways to use these staples as you can if you're not a creature of habit and if you don't like eating the same thing every day. So that way you can kind of keep it interesting. Hopefully your spouse and your kids will join in on what you're eating and you won't have to cook 2 meals and they won't have to fend for themselves, but you're still able to stay on track. Something else you can do to kind of save some time is as soon as you get home from the grocery store, wash all of your produce, your fruit, your veggies. You can even do some prep work with your vegetables. If you know that you're using a recipe that requires chopped onions, chop all your onions up and put them in the fridge. Wash all your berries, take all the stems off. I always wash, my spinach for my smoothies and stuff as soon as I get home and put those into a container. You can do all of that work as soon as you get home from the grocery store so that throughout the course of the week, you're not spending your time on those things. So that is just something that I want to encourage you to do. You can also prep little snack baggies ahead of time as well. So if you like raw vegetables for your snack, like raw carrots or something like that, cut them up, put them in little snack size baggies and throw them in the fridge so that whenever you get ready for the day, all you gotta do is pull that bag out and you're not sitting there trying to count carrots and put them into a little Ziploc baggie. Just a couple grab and go things, some staples that will help you stay on track when life gets crazy, because the fact of the matter is life gets crazy. And if you allow that craziness to foreshadow your prep work, then you're not going to stay on track until this becomes a true lifestyle change for you. Okay, what else? One more thing I wanted to show you was prepping smoothie bags. So hopefully you're drinking Shakeology. If you're not, we'll talk about it later. But one thing I like to do in advance is kind of my go-to is to use half a banana and some spinach in whatever flavor of Shakeology I'm using. So I like to prep some little baggies ahead of time so that it saves me time during the week. So one thing that I will do is I'll take my banana, cut it in half because half of a banana is one purple. And I usually use snack size baggies, but I'm out, so we're gonna go with sandwich size. Open the baggie. Now, if you don't make your Shakeology with half a banana and spinach, then you're not gonna do this, but you still get the concept and the point, and you can prep these little baggies with whatever you use for your Shakeology. So I'm gonna put half a banana in the bag, and then I'm just guesstimating right now, but a green container of spinach, put it in the bag, get all of the air out. Pop this little guy in the freezer. I will do this with all of the bananas that I have, all the spinach that I have. So then whenever I get ready for my Shakeology, I just pull this out of the freezer, put it in my blender, add my Shakeology and my ice and my almond milk and my water or whatever I want to do, my peanut butter, and then I'm good to go. And that way I don't have to get the spinach out and cut the banana in half and do something with the other half of the banana. It's all already done for you. So figure out what you like in your Shakeology, make some smoothie bags is what I like to call them, and pop them in your freezer. Please be sure to check out the nutrition module. There are resources for tracking your containers on there. You can order the Fix8 cooking book, which I get a lot of my recipes from. All of the recipes in here have Portion Fix associated with them. Of course, there's the Fix8 cooking show on Beachbody On Demand. There is the Team Beachbody blog, which has a ton of recipes at your fingertips. I mean, Pinterest, you guys, so many recipes that fit Portion Fix. All you have to do is type in Portion Fix or 21-day fix meal plan and you'll get tons of recipes there. But like I said, the purpose of this video is to teach you about staples. Staples and kissing, keeping it super simple. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to let myself or your coach know. Hopefully this was a little bit helpful in terms of providing you with a couple tips and tricks to make meal prepping a little less daunting, but to also reiterate the importance and the value of making sure that you get it done.